Shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And real quick, I just want to speak about the situation over there in that state of Israel, because you see they're telling the lie that the state of Israel represents the fulfillment of the restoration of the nation of Israel by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But we know that when you go into the prophecies in regards to the restoration of the nation of Israel, first of all, it's the restoration of all the tribes back together as one, with the throne of David being reestablished under the Messiah Yahushai who sitteth on that throne. All right. The nation, the different tribes receiving their inheritances again, the law, statutes, and commandments and the way of Israel's being made in full effect. All right. The nation of Israel is going to keep those laws perfectly. Okay, we're going to be ruling over the other nations, and we all going to be rich, and we're all going to be rejoicing. We're all going to be blessed. All right, but that's not what's happening over there in that Israeli state. Their system and that Israeli state is set up basically exactly like a European country, with the same laws and systems, the same political system, the same educational system, the same military system. That whole country is nothing like the Israel which is spoken of in the scriptures, man. Now, if you go back to 2011, right? You had major protests over there in the state of Israel, man, because the citizens, mainly the middle and the working classes, are hurt. Now that's not supposed to be, and they're hurt over what? The cost of living, the cost of house prices. Now, first and foremost, if this in the nation of Israel, there ain't no problem with house prices, because all of the nation of Israel is supposed to have an inheritance of land. But you see, because their system isn't set up like that, their system is set up based upon a westernized system. That's why they're having these issues. Now, it says Israeli protests. This is back in 2011. 430,000 take to the streets to demand social justice. Now, if the state of Israel is the fulfillment of the restoration of the nation of Israel, why is there social injustice in the land? Why is there oppression? Why is there murder, thievery, deceit? Why are these people feeling the need to come out in the streets and protest, man? That's not in the scriptures. It says up to 300,000 take part in Tel Aviv. That's 300,000, man. 50,000 in Jerusalem and 40,000 in Haifa in Israel's biggest ever demonstration. Now, the only demonstrations that's supposed to be happening in the restored nation of Israel is a demonstration of glory and rejoice. But that's not the case here. Let's show you the people in the streets. All these Israelis, man, in the streets protesting, man. But this is the restored nation of Israel. This is the nation blessed of the Most High. This is what the Lord himself restored this nation, right? For this, yeah? Hell out of here, man. You out of your damn mind, man. It says hundreds of thousands of Israelis took to the streets on Saturday night in Israel's biggest ever demonstration to demand social justice, a lower cost of living, and a clear government response to the concerns of an increasingly squeezed middle class. So their middle class is being squeezed just like the middle class in the West is being squeezed, because their economy is all messed up. About 430,000 people took part in these marches and rallies across the country. According to the police, the biggest march was in Tel Aviv, where up to 300,000 took part. There was an unprecedented 50,000 strong protest in Jerusalem, and 40,000 marched in Haifa. There were smaller protests in dozens of other towns and cities. Now hold on. One of the blessings of a people delivered of the Most High. If I let me get this real quick. Isaiah 66, because they like to bring Isaiah 66 out, right? Oh, the nation was born in one day. Okay. Isaiah 66:8. Who have heard such a thing? who have seen such things? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day, or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Shall I bring to the birth, and not cause to bring forth, saith the Lord? Shall I cause to bring forth, and shut the womb, saith thy God? Rejoice. Yeah, them people ain't rejoicing. Rejoice with Jerusalem, and be glad with her, all ye that love her. Rejoice for her with her, all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breasts of her consolations. Them people don't seem satisfied with the breasts of her consolations. That ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. Them people don't seem to be delighted with the abundance of her glory. They're complaining in the streets. For thus saith the Lord, behold, I will extend peace to her like a river. They don't look to me that the Israeli state, that peace is being extended to it like a river. Them men are getting bombed. All right, they got people out there chanting death to them. All right, they're having protests within their own country. All right, they got problems, man. And the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall ye suck, ye shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees. As one whom his mother comforteth, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when ye see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of the Lord shall be known toward his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies. Well, hold on. These people over here, man, they hurt. They don't seem dandled upon the knees of Jerusalem. These people are hurt. They're out there by the hundreds of thousands, man, complaining in the streets. Now, when you go to Psalms 144, the scriptures speak about a people that save. If the Most High deliver a people, man, there ain't gonna be no complaining in the streets, man. What are you talking about, man? Dudes complaining. You think when the Lord go through and save the nation of Israel and deliver the nation of Israel, man, and restore the nation properly, like how it was of old during the time of David and Solomon, man. Restore the tribes, restore the order, restore the peace, restore the land, man. That the people are gonna be complaining in the streets about house prices and all this bullshit, man. Get the hell out of here, man. All right. It tells you in Psalm 144 and 14 that our people, that our oxen may be strong to labor, that there be no breaking in nor going out, that there be no complaining in our streets. Happy is that people that is in such a case. Yea, happy is that people whose God is Yahweh. And obviously these people are not happy because the Lord ain't delivered them. The Lord ain't blessed them. That's not the restoration and the salvation of the nation of Israel, man. Get the hell out of here, man. What are you talking about? Come on. It says about 430,000 people took part in these marches and rallies across the country, according to police. The biggest march was in Tel Aviv, where up to 300,000 took part. There was an unprecedented 50,000 strong protest in Jerusalem, and 40,000 marched in Haifa. There were smaller protests in dozens of other towns and cities. It had been billed as the March of the Million, but organizers said a turnout matching the 300,000 strong demonstrations 4 weeks ago would be a triumph. Israel's population is 7.7 million. But the scriptures say Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. So it shows you this is all BS, man. 7.7. There's more people in London than there is in the state of Israel, man. Man, get the hell out of here, man. Come on, man. This is madness, man. This stuff pisses you off. But people, it says the movement. Hold on. So Saturday's demonstrations, this is 2011 by the way, followed 50 days of protests that have rattled political leaders and led commentators and analysts to ask whether a new social movement would transform Israeli domestic politics for the next generation. And that's one of the reasons why Benjamin Netanyahu's under pressure over there, because he's still dealing with these issues. The movement, which is the support of about 90% of the population, according to opinion polls, began when a small group of activists erected tents in Tel Aviv's prosperous Rothschild Boulevard in protests at high rents and house prices. Now again, if the nation of Israel was restored, wouldn't nobody be paying rent? Everyone would have an inheritance in the land. Showing you is BS. Tent cities mushroomed across the country and protesters rallied behind the slogan, "The people demand social justice." Among the issues raised were the cost of housing, transport, childcare, food, and fuel, the low salaries paid to many professionals, including doctors and teachers, tax reforms, and welfare payments. These people are, man, this place is a mess. Now, I got an article here, since you might, oh, that was 2011. Now, this is an article back from 2016, and shit ain't changed in 2016, right? Let's go and read it. 5 years later, what has changed? Over the past 5 years, there's been a number of hopeful developments. By 2015, the real wage, a measure of purchasing power of Israelis, was about 6% larger than 2011. The growth in real wages has been large compared to the average growth in real wages in OECD countries, which grew only by 2%. In fact, as compared to blah, blah, blah. All right, but check this out. Look at that, man. Ain't nothing changed, man. That shit is fucked. All right, real wages have been because nominal wages have risen faster than prices. As Israel's unemployment rate has declined over the past few years to a historic low, average nominal wages have increased. The government has also recently increased the minimum wage by about 10%, and it is expected to increase it by another 15% by the end of 2017. So they're doing all this BS. He's got these stupid little percentages. This is not supposed to be happening, man. This is not so... Oh, okay. Oh man, it's going. Let's get it. I'm trying to get straight to the point. Could these guys try to play with the numbers? Right. It says, first, as figure 2 suggests, the global fall in the oil prices partly explains the slowdown and decline in prices in Israel. Since the price index excluding energy cost, the red line, becomes larger than the overall index. This phenomenon can explain the sharp increases in Israelis' real wages over the same period shown in figure 1. Therefore, if oil prices increase again, real wages would probably drop, reversing recent trends. Second, only housing rent costs and not ownership prices are used to compute Israel's consumer price index, and with it real wages figures. While costs for housing services have increased by about 13% since 2011, housing ownership prices in Israel have increased and averaged by almost 30%. High prices across all sectors of the Israeli economy are a systematic problem that relates to lack of competition and often excessive bureaucracy. Thus, the increase in real wages and slowdown in the real rise of prices in the past several years might have been overestimated and are not a sign that deep reforms are no longer needed. Well, why the hell would they need reforms if the Lord already restored the nation? High prices across all sectors of the Israeli economy are a systematic problem that relates to the lack of competition and often excessive bureaucracy. All right. And look, man, basically that whole place is messed up, man. Yeah, that whole place is messed up, and 2018 is still the same. Yeah, ain't nothing changes. Right? How many years after 1948 is that? To hell with these people. Look at this scripture, man. These people are liars, man. They're not the people. They're not blessed. All right, that's not the restored nation of Israel, and they're nothing but liars, man. And I found it very interesting, man. But nobody wants to talk about this stuff, man. They try and hide it in the news. Deuteronomy 33:29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord. Now, we ain't been saved by the Lord yet. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians and our descendants scattered for the four corners, our salvation is coming. Our restoration is coming. Our consolation is coming. These people are trying to fake the funk like they're the people. They're not the people, man. The Lord ain't delivered them. Delivered them up to what? To pay rent? To deliver them up to pay rent? To sleep in a tent overnight protesting against your own government? Is that what the Lord delivered them into? O people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. These false Jews, they're going to be brought down, man, because they're liars, man. Because it's so evident that that state of Israel is not no blessed nation, man. They're not no nation saved by the Lord, man. It's just another European colony, man. And they got all kinds of issues and problems, man. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.